Very good evening, everyone. Welcome to Study Online and welcome to our weekend Python class. If my voice is audible, please do respond in the chat box. Okay, fine. First of all, hope that everyone are there in our Telegram group. Yes or no? I think everyone are there in our Telegram group. Correct, right? Okay, fine. That's great. I thought of taking the introduction from each one of you, but I don't think so. It will happen. Why? Because more than 60 peoples are there. That's the reason I think it will consume some time. Okay, going ahead, I'll be asking your introduction, all those things. Better to start off with, let me just introduce about myself. Anyone who is aware of my name, because if you are already my student, I think you'll be aware of my name. That's the reason. Anyone? Okay. Myself, Sandesh. Fine. And I do have 4+ years of experience in the IT industry, and currently I'm working at EY as a senior consultant in the field of Python. And prior to that, I was working as a software developer, and I do have an experience of training and teaching is my passion. That's the reason I'm just doing it for as a passion itself. Is that clear? I think a quick introduction about myself is what I have given. If you want more introduction, maybe you can just follow me on LinkedIn. That is Sandesh, so that you can just get to know about the complete details of me. Okay, without wasting the time, let us just move on to the actual thing why you people are here. Anyone, please do let me know why you joined this session, or what is the main thing about this session. At least, what is the course name? Please do let me know. What is the course name? Anyone? Okay. The course name is what? Python, and it includes both core Python as well as advanced Python. That's very important. And you can just consider this particular course as Python for machine learning, data science, as well as artificial intelligence, as well as for web development, as well as for testing, or irrespective of the domain you choose. If you want to get an entry into that particular domain, you have to learn Python. And the complete Python is what will be taught in this particular course. And this course happens to be the weekend batch. Only this course will be having on Saturday as well as Sunday. The timings happens to be, it will start from 7 o'clock, and maximum it will be there till 8:30 or 8:45 based upon the topics. And this happens to be the live classes that I'll be taking on every weekends. And in this particular course, I'll be doing 2 real-time projects, and I'll be giving the idea for you people for 5 real-time projects. Are you getting my point? 2 real-time project in the class only I will solve you. That means I'll just make you to learn that project, and I'll just make you to do another 5 real-time projects. Is that clear? Next, the duration of this course happens to be 3 months, and I'll be teaching you how to crack the interviews when it comes to Python. And I'll be solving a lot of hacker rank problems, and I'll be taking you the mock interviews of Python, like how you have to answer the question if they're asking in the interview. And this course happens to be 3 months. Initial 1 month, it's a free class. Fine, you need not to pay a single rupee for that. Is that clear? No need to pay a single rupee for registration, admission, something like that. It's completely free. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond by saying yes, so that I'll be getting the clarity. And the classes would be conducted through Zoom application throughout this course. Hope that everybody would have installed Zoom application. And I would suggest you to attend the session, not you through your mobile phone. Please attend the session through your laptop, so that effectively you can listen the class. Why? Because if you are using your mobile phone, and in between maybe some text will come in Instagram, a lot of disturbance will be there if you are using your mobile. That's the reason preferably go with your laptop. That's what I would suggest. First, without wasting the time, let me just start off with the topic. Please do let me know, what do you know about Python? Anyone? What do you know about Python? If I just utter this term, Python, what do you know about Python? Anyone? What is Python? Okay. Some of them are telling interpreted programming language. Some of them are telling, okay, okay, great. Python is a programming language. It's a high-level programming language. Okay, great. Okay, that's cool. Okay. One person is asking, sir, is there any pre-recorded classes available? 100%. But I'll just let you know. Please attend today's session. I'll just let you know each and guys. Day one, I'll clarify all your doubts regarding this course. But attend the session. That's very important. Okay. First of all, please tell me when it comes to study online, when it comes to my teaching, fine. I might be teaching Python, or I might be teaching Java, or I might be teaching SQL, or I might be teaching Angular, or whatever may be the subject. As a student, fine. If you join my course, if you want to study under Sandesh, maybe many of them, like 50% of them, are already aware of my teaching skills, all those things. Please tell me, in order to learn Python, is there any prerequisite in my class? Please do let me know. Is there any prerequisite? That means you should be aware of that. You should be aware of this. Is there any prerequisite? 100%. Let me tell you guys, there is no prerequisite. That's the first point I want to clear. So here, I'll just tell there are no prerequisites. Prerequisite means pre-requirement. That's it. From scratch, each and every topic will be taught. Is that clear? If you're a person, one who is aware of the normal English, whatever I'll be speaking, and if you're able to understand how to type a program and how to open the laptop, how to open the browser, I think that's more than sufficient to learn Python. Is that clear? There are no prerequisites. Why? Because some of them will be having these things in mind. Okay, in order to learn Python, we should be aware of some other programming language called as C, Java. No. If you're not aware, that will be well and good for me. Why? Because don't you think it is very easy for me to write on an empty sheet of paper rather than something is written in the sheet of paper? Yes or no? That's the reason. Maybe if you are aware of other programming language, well and good, no issues. But if you're not aware of anything, please don't worry at all. From scratch, like a LKG kid, I will teach step by step. Is that clear? That's what I just wanted to clear. The first point. Second one, I think already you are aware of the duration, and I think you're aware of 1 month. You need not to pay a single rupee for that. And many of them were asking, sir, is it a certificated course? 100% you'll be getting a certificate. Is that clear? You'll be getting a certificate from Study Online. Fine. Please do respond by saying yes or no. Is that clear? After completing the course, based upon your attendance, that's it, not your marks and all. Why? Because if I just give you a test, I know most of them will copy that. I don't want that to happen. Hope that if you are attending at least 60% of my classes, you will be able to understand something about Python. Based upon that, I'll be issuing the certificate. Simply, if you just take up the course without attending the classes, if you just ask me to give the certificate, no. Minimum, in order to get the certificate, you only tell me what's the percentage that I have to keep. I'll be asking you. Please tell me. I'm not expecting 80%, 90% and all. What is the minimum percentage? Can I expect 60% of your attendance? Please do respond. 60%. Is that clear? Assume that if I'm taking 100 classes, assume, you should be able, that means you should have attended 60 classes. That's it. If you have attended 60 classes, 100%, I'm going to issue the certificate. Maybe some of them will be having this doubt. Okay, sir, you will give the certificate. For example, if we miss the live class, what is the alternative, sir? If you miss the live class, you will be getting the recorded content of today's session. That means whatever the session that I'll be conducting, you'll be getting the recorded session. Is that clear? Please do respond. Irrespective of whether you attend the live session or not, you'll be getting the recorded session. And one more thing. Okay, sir, what about notes, sir? Do we have to write down the notes, or will you be giving the notes, sir? I'll be giving the notes in the class. But I would suggest you to write the handwritten notes. Although I might be giving the notes in the form of PDF, in the form of textual format, but please write down the notes. Why? Because what you write in your notes with your own handwriting, that makes sense. So that easily you can remember for a longer duration. Is that clear? Yes, please do respond. Is that clear for everyone? And one more thing, I will be taking the mock. Sir, what do you mean by mock, sir? After each and every topic, each and every important topic, I'll conduct something like an interview. For example, if that particular topic is been asked in the interview, how to answer that particular topic. Is that fine? And I'll be teaching you the in detail about programming. Guys, when it comes to the technical round, 100% I'm going to discuss that. But here, let me just write, I'll be teaching the programming. When it comes to Python, complete programming is what I'll be teaching. If you are attending some service-based company interview, or if you're attending some product-based company interview, easily will be able to crack using Python. That's what I'll make sure that in this particular weekend course. Is that clear for everyone? Now I want the response from your side. Why? Because I don't know what kind of audience you people, or what kind of people are attending my session. That's the reason. If you are a student, I want your response by saying 1. If you tell 1, I'll assume that you are a student. That means you're not working anywhere. Next, listen. 2 means what? You are working, but you are working in a technical domain, but not in Python. You're working in technical domain, but not in Python. You might be working as a tech support, or you might be working as what I can tell, some other thing, fine. But you are in the IT industry. Next, you are working in the IT industry, but non-technical background. Please do respond. 1, 2, 3. Which will be your response? Okay. I think most of them I can see student and technical and non-technical. Okay, that's fine. I think 60% students, 20% technical and 20% non-technical. Why? Because someone asked me the question, sir, who can take up this course? If you are a person who is student, I think this is a right place for you to learn this particular course. If you're working in technical domain, apart from Python, if you want to upskill yourself, and if you want to increase your salary, and if you want to increase what I can tell, maybe your position in your company 100%, it's a right place to learn Python. And if you're a non-technical person, and if you want to get into technical domain 100%, it's without any doubt, it's a right place. That's what I can tell. Maybe going ahead, you'll only understand. That's the reason I have given 1 month of a huge time. I think in order to judge a person, in order to see the quality of teaching content, I think 1 month is more than sufficient. Yes or no? Please do respond. 1 month is more than sufficient, right? Okay, great. Let me just ask you a few questions. Fine. Guys, I think some of them are employed and some of them are unemployed. Fine. If you are unemployed, I'm sorry to write this way because some of them might feel very bad, but it's okay. I'm going to write that so that you have to feel what exactly you're going through. Fine. If you are unemployed, fine. If you are unemployed, please tell me what you will lose. My first question. Assume that you're a student, right? Right now you're a student, you're unemployed, or you might be working in non-technical domain. For them also, I might call you as unemployed, maybe because you're not up to the mark. That means you're not into technical domain. You have not used your skills to the fullest. Please do respond. Maybe if you are working in a technical domain, if you feel that you are employed, that's very good. But if you are unemployed, please tell me what are the 2 things that you're going to lose? What are the 2 things that you're going to lose? 2 things. Very important. Which are those 2 things? On a confidence level, all those things will be there. If you are employed also, if you're unemployed also, it depends on individual. Yes, let us just speak about the reality. Fine. I'm the person who is going to speak the reality. If you are unemployed, you don't have job, first thing, don't you think you will lose money? So that's very important, right? If you are unemployed, 100% you're going to lose money. Why? Because if you are employed, you'll be getting some salary, XYZ salary is what you'll be getting. That is what you have lost. Next, I know value, respect, you'll not be getting the respect from your family, that's secondary. But I'm just speaking the main thing. Fine, money is first thing. And next, please tell me, if you are unemployed, what is the one more, what I can tell, the important point that you'll be missing? Okay, I'll just give you the example. Initially, when I joined a company, my salary was different. Fine. Right now, whatever the salary that I'm getting is different. Initially, what I used to earn per month, I'm earning per day. Now tell me what you're missing. What you're missing. Initially, I was also called as a fresher, but right now I'm an experienced candidate. Please tell me, what is that? If you are unemployed, what is that you will be missing? Don't you think you'll be missing experience? Yes or no? How many of them will tell? Experience. Yeah, that's true, right? If you are unemployed or if you're not working in a proper job that you're satisfied with, 100% you'll be called as what? Unemployed. That's what I will tell. Okay, sir, then how to become from unemployed to employed? If you ask me, it is pretty simple. It is there in your hand. Is that clear? From unemployed to become employed, that is purely there in your hand. Okay, sir, what we have to do, sir? A proper dedication is what required. Guys, I know many of them join this session just because some post got posted in your WhatsApp or Telegram or in Instagram link, just to see, okay, how this fellow will teach, just to see what is Python. You have started, that means you have joined the session. Yes or no? Please be very frank with me. Correct, right? You might be working somewhere and you have some free time in your weekends, evening. That's the reason you joined the session. Yes, please do respond. That's correct, right? Many of them. It's okay if it is yes also, no issues. Please do respond by saying yes or no. At least you'll be getting to know the answers. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. Now tell me, you want to change your domain into Python and you want to become a Python developer, or you want to go in the field of data science, machine learning. It's a booming technologies that are there in the IT industry. But if you want to do that in 3 months, you tell me, what are the efforts that you are putting, like how you are putting right now? Is that possible to get your job in Python? Just tell me yes or no. Yes or no. If you are, what I can tell, maybe you might be putting some 1 hour, 2 hour a day. Do you think you'll be getting a job? If it is yes, maybe 100% by this time you should have got a job. That's what I can tell. Guys, if you're putting the effort like how you're putting right now, 100%, it will not fetch you a job. So then what we have to do, sir? Right now, hardly you might be attending the session of today's session. That's it. Afterwards, tomorrow you'll attend. Next week you'll attend. No, it is not possible. So then what we have to do, sir? You have to practice. You have to write the notes. You have to type the program. You have to ask me the doubts. Then only you'll be getting that confidence in Python. That's what I can tell. Guys, it's pretty simple. If you are a student, what you have not done in 3 to 4 years of your engineering, you have to do in 3 months. That's it. Is that clear? Maybe I can just tell it in this way. I think it makes some sense. What you have not done in 4 years of engineering, you should be trying to do in 3 months. Okay. And this particular course is designed in such a way that if you are a fresher, or if you are a moderate person, one who is aware of Python, or you might be expert in Python, whatever it may be, 100% you will feel the difference. That's how the content is being designed. Don't worry, I'll be showing you the content. Guys, right now you have to imagine how much effort you have to put in 3 months in order to get into technical domain, in order to get your dream job. That's what I can tell. Now, without wasting the time, let me just move forward with Python. You don't need to take the screenshot of this. I think it's known fact for everyone. You have decided to learn a programming language called as Python. That's the reason you are there in today's session. Please do let me know if you want to learn anything in your life, not only Python. Fine, you want to learn Java in future, or you want to learn what I can tell, maybe you want to learn a bike, or you want to buy a dress, or whatever it may be. 100% we will see some of the factors and we will choose that. Like that, please tell me, if you want to learn Python, there might be a couple of reasons. Yes or no? There might be a couple of reasons. Please tell me why you want to learn that programming language, why you want to learn Python itself. Why? Because there are plenty of programming language that are there in the market, but among the plenty of programming language, why you have decided to learn Python? What will be your answer? Easy to learn if it is taught in a very better manner. That is first thing. Okay, next. It's an easy programming language. Okay, very good. Next. It's a booming technology. Very good. Correct. That's also true. Damn true. That is. Okay. Yeah, speak about the reality. Simply learn Python. No, simply learn Python. But don't you think just for upgrading yourself in the field of financial, fine. You want to become financially more stable. You should be getting a right job. You should be getting a right salary. Then only you'll be satisfied in your life. Correct, right? That's the reason. 100% job opportunity. That is the first thing as a student or an experienced candidate or whatever it may be. Fine. If you want to learn a programming language, first thing what comes to your mind, job opportunities. Correct, right? Yes. I'm the person who is going to speak the reality. Fine. 100%. If the job opportunities are great, then 100% you should learn the programming language. Second one. Please tell me, there should be a demand for the programming language in the IT company. That means in the IT industry. Yes or no? If there is no demand, then what is the use of learning? If there is a huge demand, then only you should learn that. Next, don't you think there will be a rank for each and every programming language? Will you agree with my point? Before you joining any college, don't you think you would have seen what is the ranking of my college? Then only you have joined. For example, if you want to buy a bike, you'll see what is the rank of that bike. Then you'll start to buy that bike. Correct, right? If you want to buy a mobile phone, 100% you'll see what is the rank of the mobile phone. Then only you will buy. Right now you are investing your precious time. Money is secondary, fine. You are investing your precious time in your busy schedule that you are dedicating your weekends. 3 months of weekends you're dedicating. Then 100% you have to see what is the rank of the programming language. That means you people should see what is the rank of that. If you are satisfied with the rank, learn that. If there is a demand, learn that. If there are n number of job opportunity, learn that programming language. Now we will see what is the rank of Python in today's world. That means in 2021. Anyone, please do let me know how to check the rank. How to check the rank of the programming language. Assume that I want to check the rank of Python. What I have to do? Now, how to check? Where I have to check? For that, there is a website. The website name happens to be TIOB Index, or some of them might be calling it as TIOB Index. Is that fine? If you just click on the TIOB Index, it's a company where it will collect all the response of the developers or the people working in the IT industry. By keeping all those things in mind, by seeing the number of projects that are being running using Python or Java, they'll be deciding the rank of the programming language. We will see what is the rank of the programming language. I'll just click on this. Hope that everyone are able to see the Google Chrome. Are able to see the browser, guys? Please do respond. Are able to see the window? Yes or no? That's it. Okay, great. Please observe TIOB index for November 2021. See here, November, that is current month. What is the rank of Python? I want each one of you to look up properly and see me. Tell me, what is the rank of Python? Okay, Python is in the number one rank. Guys, if you're learning any programming language, that's up to your wish, but please make sure that you'll be learning the top 3 programming language. That means it should be in top 3. Maybe if you have interest to learn C, learn that. If you have interest to learn Java, learn that. But don't you think Python is the top position? Yes or no? And now tell me, what is the rank of Python? That means rank satisfied. That means you are okay with the rank of Python. Sir, why, sir? Why? Because what is the rank of Python? You should tell me the answer. What is the rank of Python? Just now I have seen, guys. That's the reason I'm asking. What is the rank of Python? Don't you think first rank? If it is in the first rank, don't you think a huge demand is there for Python? Yes or no? A huge demand is there for Python. Okay, great. And next, one more question I'll be asking. Do you think 5 years back, Python was at number 1? Yes or no? Maybe just guess. Python was at number 1 5 years back. 100% no. Do you think Python was at number 1 10 years back? 200% no. Do you think Python was at number 1 20 years back? 500% no. So then right now, why it is in number 1 position, sir? Why? Because I will tell you what made Python to be there in number 1 position in 2021 and what you should do in order to learn Python. That also I will teach you. Don't worry about that. If I just scroll down, they would have given something called as, see here, very long-term history. Observe. When Python was invented, fine, in 1991, rank was not there. Next, what was the rank of Python in 1996? I want each one of you to tell the answer in the chat box. What was the rank of Python in 1996? 27th rank. Next, what was the rank of Python in 2001? 20th rank. Suddenly, don't you think there is a drastic changeover from 2001 to 2006? Something drastic change should have happened in the IT industry. That's the reason the rank of Python from 20th position to 8th position. Next, 6th position in 2011, 5th position in 2016. Right now, I think it's not been updated. Please do let me know. In 2021, what is the rank of Python? I know they have not updated here, but already I have seen what is the rank of Python. First rank. Sir, why, sir? From 27th rank in 1996 to the first rank in 2021. What made Python, sir? Why most of the people are using Python in the industry? If you ask me, it is pretty simple. You have to observe. I'll be teaching you. That means what are the applications of Python? I'll just do one thing. I'll just create a folder. The folder name happens to be a Python weekend batch. Python weekend batch. Please tell me the month. The month happens to be November, right? Python weekend batch, November. I'll just open this particular folder. Let me just create a new file. The file happens to be day 1. I will tell. Okay. Right now, I'm going to teach you the applications of Python. That means where Python will be used. That's what I'll be discussing right now. If anyone aware of that, please do let me know where Python will be used. That means in which places the Python will be used. Don't you think Python will be extensively used in the field of what? Artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, web development. Next, game application development. Very good. Python will be extensively used in the field of Game application development. Very good. Next, Python will be extensively used in what? Testing, robotics, networking, neural network, application development, like this. If you want me to write the domain where exactly Python will be used, there is no stop for that. I can just keep on writing like this. Is that clear? Python will be extensively used in AI, ML, DS, that is data science, web development, gaming, robotics, networks, neural networks, testing. That means in testing, we'll be using a tool called as Selenium. There we'll be using Python. Is that clear? Like this, n number of domains are there where Python will be used. That is the reason from 27th rank to first rank. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. I want a very quick response from your side. Is that clear? Why Python from 27 to first rank? Are you able to understand? Okay, great. Now you people should tell me, if it is in the first rank, don't you think a huge demand will be there in the IT industry? Will you agree with my point? A huge demand will be there. That's the reason it is in the first rank. Next, if the rank is satisfied, if there is a huge demand, 100% the number of job opportunities will be also more when compared to other programming language. Sir, how to know about that, sir? It is pretty simple. You just do one thing. You just go to Google Chrome. In this Google Chrome, you just tell a Python related job. You just tell a Python jobs. In India, you just type Python jobs in India. According to maybe you just tell me any platform, any what I can tell, a job platform, anything. It may be LinkedIn or Naukri. Let us just take a Naukri itself. Okay. Please tell me, when it comes to Python, how many number of job openings are there in 2021? I want any one of you to tell the number. What is the job openings in India? Please do respond. I'm just taking only in India, guys. Don't you think it is 1,79,718? Yes or no? Approximately, I can just fill it as 1.75 lakh. Yes or no? 1.75 lakh. That too only in India, guys. That too only in India. See here, I can just consider only in India, that too in 2021, 1.75 lakh job openings. Among that, at least I can just tell it as 1 lakh. You just take 1 lakh job openings will be there for experienced candidate. Please tell me, as a fresher, minimum, I'm just saying the worst scenario. Please tell me how many job openings that you will be getting. Minimum 75,000 as a fresher. Yes or no? It's just a rough sketch, whatever I have written. As a fresher, you will be getting minimum 75,000. Don't you think in Bangalore itself you'll be finding around 20,000 job openings as a fresher, minimum some 20,000 job openings as an experienced candidate? Correct, right? Now tell me, if there is a huge number of job opportunities, if there is a demand, if the rank is satisfied, then why to worry about that? Maybe you can just close your eyes and you can just learn this programming language. Yes or no? Please do respond. I want a very quick response from your side. 100% Python is a go-to programming language when compared to other programming language. I would suggest you to invest your time, energy in order to upgrade yourself in the field of Python. Is that clear? Okay. You just do one thing. You just take the screenshot of this. You just take it as diagram number 1, D1. Diagram number 1. Let me just share you the screen. I'll just open the notes. Okay. Please write diagram number 1, and you can just give the heading as Python. Okay. These are the applications of Python. And one person is asking, sir, could you please show me the contents, whatever you'll be teaching? 100%. I would love to show that, so that people will be getting the clarity and what I'll be doing in this course. Please observe. Just tell me whether you're able to see or not. Okay, let me just open that. Yeah. See here, when it comes to Python, I'll be teaching you basics of Python initially, maybe initial couple of days. Next, history of Python. If I just start reading the content, I think it's waste of time. I'll just do one thing. I'll just send you this particular document in the Telegram group, so that easily you can just go through that. Each and every topic, what is required in order to become a Python developer, is completely, I have just framed, and each and every topic will be taught in detail. Is that clear? Networking, a Python to database connectivity, how to connect your Python with your database, all those things is what I'll be teaching, and web scraping using Python. That's also I'll be teaching. The complete in detail about multi-threading, a file operation, exception handling, and the special features in Python, closure, decorator, iterator, generator, in detail about object orientation, and the data structure that are frequently used in Python, string, list, tuple, set, dictionary. In detail, I will teach. Is that clear? Hope that you got the clarity regarding the content. Fine. Don't worry, I'll be sharing you the document. Maybe if you have time, you can just go through each and every topic. Now tell me, you have decided to learn Python and you have opted for weekend batch. Whether you attend the live session or not, 100% you'll be getting the recorded content. That is secondary. But I would suggest you to go with live class. Why? Because I'll tell you in maybe going ahead, I'll tell you why you have to go with the live session. Please tell me, what do you know about Python? If I just ask you the question again, what do you mean by Python, or who invented Python? Let us just learn about that. Who invented Python? Guys, this happens to be the weekend batch. And let me tell you one thing. It is not like a crash course, fine. I'll be teaching each and every topic in detail. And I might be taking the class more than 1.5 hours. It is purely based upon the topic. Is that fine? Okay, great. Please tell me who invented Python? No, I know Sandesh might be teaching Python for you, but who invented Python? Okay, that means if I just ask you the history of Python, what will be your answer? History of Python. Very good. Who invented Python? If you ask me, the person name happens to be Guido van Rossum. The person name happens to be Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum invented Python in the year 1989. I know most of them will be getting confused and they will just tell by Googling 1991. I know that is correct. But initially, Python was invented in the year 1989 by Guido van Rossum. Is that clear? But if you check it in the Google, it will just show it as 1991. Sir, why, sir? Officially, Python was released to the market on 1991. Is that clear? Officially, Python was released to the market on 1991. If you want me to tell the exact date, February 20th. Is that clear? Maybe if you are a Python developer, every year you have to celebrate the birthday of Python. Why? Because you're eating your bread and butter through that. That's the reason. Okay, great. Next, why you want to learn Python? Please do respond. Don't you think syntax of Python is very simple? Correct, right? Syntax of Python is very simple. And Python is very, very easy to understand when compared to other programming language. Maybe if you just want me to tell some note point regarding Python, in the day one itself, I'm just writing syntax of Python is very simple. Syntax means the way of coding, the way of writing the logic is very simple. And Python is very easy to understand when compared to other programming language. Sir, from that time itself, you're giving build up for Python, sir. Python syntax is simple. Python is very easy to understand. Okay, sir, let us just take some simple programs, sir, so that we will also see whether Python is simple or not. 100% I'm going to take a program. Now tell me, whenever you want to start learning a programming language, fine, you will print something on your console. What is that you will be printing on console? Please do respond. What is that you will be printing on the console? First, initial. I think in your college days also, it would remain same. What is that? Don't you think you would have printed hello world? The same thing we will see. Fine. I'll just take the program as printing hello world in C, Java, Python. Is that fine? That's what the first program, printing hello world in C, Java, Python. Guys, now I'm telling, my main concentration is towards explaining Python. That means showing you the simplicity of Python, not explaining the logic of C and Java. This is not the place for that. Is that clear? Great. Now I will just do one thing. I will just take a simple program to get the output through C. Please tell me, whenever you want to execute a program through C, what you will do? Assume that you are not aware of anything, fine. You want to execute a program through C, what you will do? You have to install that particular software for that. I think Turbo C, all those things. But what I will do, I'm having the access towards internet. That's the reason what I'll do. I'll just go to internet. In this internet, I'll just type online C compiler, C compiler here, C compiler online. I will just click on that. Okay. Here I would like to execute the program. What I'll do, I want each one of you to observe properly. It's a pretty simple program, right? Okay, sir, what will be doing, sir? observe. Let me just share you the whiteboard. In this whiteboard, I'll just consider this happens to be C. This happens to be Java. At last, the hero comes. That happens to be Python. I'll just tell this happens to be Python. Printing hello world in C, Java, as well as Python. That's what I'm just teaching right now. Whenever you want to print something in C, please tell me what is the logic. If you are aware of C, tell me. If not, don't worry, I will teach you that. Please tell me. 100% I'm going to teach HackerRank programs. Don't worry about that. Yes, please do respond. How to print something in C? Don't you think you may have to use a function called as printf function? You may have to use a function called as printf. Within that printf, you may have to tell hello world, whatever the data that you want to print. Hello world. Next, if you execute, will you be getting the output 100%? No. Why? Because you have to use semicolon. Okay, sir, if I execute this line of code, will I be getting the output, sir? 100% no. Why? Because don't you think you have to place this piece of code? You have to place this piece of code within the main function. Within the main function, I have to place this piece of code. That's the reason what I'll do. I'll just consider the name of the main function. The name happens to be void. Why? Because nothing I'm returning. See here, void main is what I have told. Okay, sir, if I execute this code, sir, will I be getting the output, sir? 100% no. Sir, why, sir? Why? Because this complete code should be placed within the header function. That's the reason what I'll just include hash include stdio.h, that is standard input output, stdio.h. Okay, sir, now will I be getting the output, sir? 100% will be getting the output. If you execute this, let me just copy this one. And what is the output that I'm expecting? As I want you to respond. What is the output that I'm expecting? Don't you think I'm expecting this output? Hello world. This is what the output that I'm expecting. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll just copy the complete program. I'll just go back to the online C compiler, paste it. If I save, if I execute, you have to observe the output here. Let me just close this. Okay. I will run this program. Okay. How many of them were able to see the output? I got the output as what? Hello world. How many of them were able to see? Guys, I want a response from your side. It's a pretty simple program, guys. Don't worry. I'm not going to explain the logic of C. Why? Because I'm here to explain Python, not C. Okay. I want you to tell the answer. Just to get hello world as the output in C, how many lines of code I have to write? How many lines of code? Please do respond. How many lines of code? You just count how many lines of code. 5 lines of code. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 5 lines of code. Similarly, same thing. If I want to get the output as hello world in Java, what I have to do, sir? It is pretty simple. In case of Java, what you have to do? I don't think you have to use some statement. What is that? System dot. What is that? See here, I think some of them told in the chat box. Very good. Let me just copy paste. System.out.print. System.out.println, that means next line or whatever maybe. Afterwards, you have just told what? Semicolon. Sir, if I execute this particular line, will I be getting the output, sir? 100% no. Why? Because please tell me what we have to do. I don't think this place, that this particular code should be placed within what? Within the main function. Okay, sir, how does the main function will look like in Java, sir? This is how we have to specify. What is that? Please do let me know. Okay, 1% told the answer. Let me just copy that. A public static void main. Simply, if you just tell like this, no, you'll not be getting the output. Next, what I have to tell? Public static void main. String of arguments. String of arguments you have to tell. Okay. Okay, sir, if I execute this, will I be getting the output, sir? 100% no. This particular piece of code should be placed within the class. Within the class, it should be placed. I'll just take the class happens to be demo, and I'm going to close that particular brackets. Okay. If I execute this code, will I be getting the output? Please do respond. Will I be getting the output? Let me just check it out, whether I'll be getting the output or not. That's the reason what I'll do. I'll just see here and I'll just tell Java compiler online. Let me just click on that. Okay. See here, public static void main, same thing. Here the class name happens to be demo, I will tell. Next, system.out.println hello world, already it's typed. No need to worry about that. If I execute Observe the output. Okay, now tell me how many of them are able to understand how to get the output as hello world in Java. How many of them are able to understand? Okay, great. Now you should tell me how many lines of code is what I have to write just to get hello world in Java. How many lines of code is what I have to write? Because you're able to see and you're able to tell me the answer. Don't you think 7 lines of code? 7 lines of code is what I have to write. Okay, sir. What about Python, sir? When it comes to Python, only a single line. That means you have to just tell print function, and within this print function, you just tell me the data. That's it. Hello world. Hello world. That's it. Sir, what about semicolon, sir? Already Guido van Rossum is aware of you people. You people will forget to put the semicolon. If you put semicolon or if you don't put semicolon also, you'll not be getting the output as error. You will be getting the output. Is that clear? Yes, please do respond. Is that clear for everyone? Sir, first execute, sir. Then we will believe, sir. 100% I'm going to execute. Why you worry about that? But please tell me how many lines of code is what you have to write just to get the output as hello world in Python? Only one line. Only one line. That means I'll just do one thing. I'll just go back to the browser. In this particular browser, I'll just tell Python compiler online. Let me just click on that. See here, I'll erase all these things. I don't want this. Okay, print hello world. Print hello world. Sir, you have used double quotes, sir. Yeah, you can use single quotes or double quotes. Ultimately, you'll be getting the output. There is no issue in that. If I run the program, you only observe I got the output as hello world. How many of them are able to understand executing a program in C, Java, Python? Forget about the logic. Logic, when it comes to Python, I will speak. C, Java, I will not speak. Why? Because that is none of my business at this point of time. Is that clear? At least how many of them are able to see the ease of Python? Ease means simplicity of Python. That means it is very simple to understand. It is very simple to write the code. Yes or no? Okay. I want each one of you to take the screenshot of this. I want each one of you to take the screenshot of this one. I'll be giving 5 seconds of time. Take the screenshot in your laptop or mobile phone. Okay. Hope that you have taken the screenshot. Let me just do one thing. Let me just share you the notes. Okay. Please write diagram number. Please tell me the diagram number 2. Diagram number 2. Next. Sir, printing hello world in C, Java, Python. Okay, sir. Take some bit complex, sir. Okay, I'm going to take bit complex. It's not bit complex. Maybe a moderate program is what I'm going to consider. Observe. Assume that you want to print study online. You want to print welcome to study online. See here. Welcome to study online. Welcome to study online. 500 times. You should print welcome to study online or welcome to Python session or whatever it may be. 500 times using Java and Python. We'll see how many lines of code you have to write in Java, how many lines of code you have to write in Python. Is that clear? Please do respond. Is that clear for everyone? I have to print welcome to study online 500 times on the console. That's what my expectation. And now what I'll do, I'll just go back to whiteboard. In this whiteboard, I'll just open another screen. This happens to be the Java. And let me just highlight that. This happens to be the Java. And this happens to be Python. Okay. Let me just divide it into 2 columns. Okay. In Java, we will see. Directly, I'm going to take the browser. In this browser. Okay. Already the Java program is typed. See here, guys, please don't worry about the logic. Why? Because I'm not here to explain the Java logic, but I want to print welcome to study online. Correct, right? That's the reason what I'll do. Instead of hello world, I will just tell welcome to study online. Welcome to study online. Next, I will place this piece of code within the for loop. Why? Because it should execute 500 times. That's the reason what I'll do. I'll just tell. I want each one of you to observe, guys. I will tell for next within this for loop. I will declare a variable called as I, and I have to tell the type of that I. That happens to be integer. Initially, I have to assign a value called as 0. Next, what I'll do, I'll just tell how many times it should execute? Don't you think I have to execute it 500 times? That's the reason I'll just tell less than 500. Next, every time I have to increment the value of I. That's the reason I'll just tell I plus plus. If you're not able to understand the logic, don't worry. Why? Because you're not here to learn Java, you're here to learn Python. Is that clear for everyone? Okay, next, closure of that particular bracket. Now, if I save, let me just close this. If I execute, how many of them are able to understand? I got the output as welcome to study online, 500 times. See here, how many of them are able to understand? Okay, now tell me, just to get the output as welcome to study online 500 times, how many lines of code I have to write? Please be very quick in counting the numbers. That is, how many lines? I want you to respond. How many lines of code? Count the number of lines. I hope that you people are very good in counting. That's the reason I'm asking you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Don't you think 10 lines of code? 10 lines of code is I have to write when it comes to Java. Okay, sir, what about Python, sir? When it comes to Python, it is pretty simple. Directly I'll execute in the editor, Python compiler. What you want to print? You want to print welcome to study online, right? I'll just copy this. I'll just come back here. Within the print function, I will paste it. Observe properly. Now what I'll do, I'll just tell multiplied by 500. Execute. Sir, what, sir? I want one below the other, sir. I don't want in this manner, sir. I want one below the other. What I have to do? If I want one below the other, it's pretty simple, right? You just tell slash n. Now observe how many of them are able to understand. Guys, if you have enough time in your life, please count whether 500 times the data got printed or not. 500 times I got the output as what? Welcome to study online. Now tell me, in case of Python, don't you think it's a English-like language, Python? That means like how we can read English, like that we can learn Python. And it is pretty simple to understand. Now tell me, in order to print 500 times study online, how many lines of code I have to write? How many lines of code I have to write? Don't you think only one line of code? Here I'll just tell one line. Only a single line, fine. You just do one thing. You just take the screenshot of this one. This is diagram number 3, D3. Please be very quick in taking the screenshot. Take the screenshot of this. Okay. I hope that you have taken the screenshot. Let me just do one thing. Let me just open the notes. That is day 1. Okay. Right now, you people got the clarity that how to print hello world in C, Java, Python. Please concentrate only on Python. I hope print whatever the data that you want to print. If you want to print 500 times, just tell the data and just tell whatever the requirement, that is star 500, 100 or whatever it may be. Sir, all these things are some small examples, sir. Take some complex examples, sir. 100% I'm going to take the complex example. Observe properly. Okay. Write a program to swap two numbers using Java and Python. That means what they're expecting, guys, what they're expecting, write a program to swap two numbers using Java and Python. Please tell me what they're expecting. I want you to tell the answer. What they're expecting. Please be very quick in telling the answer. Okay. A swapping of two numbers. That means what is the meaning of swap? What is the English meaning of swap? I will see how many of them will tell the answer. What is the English meaning? Okay. Okay. Okay, fine. That means reverse. Is that fine? That's what they're expecting. Now tell me, whenever you want to swap two numbers, There are plenty of methodology for that. Yes or no? There are plenty of methodologies for that. Okay. I'm going to consider a simple methodology. Okay, sir, which is the methodology? That's up to your wish. Fine. Please tell me which methodology you want me to take. You want me to consider a temporary variable and do the conversion? Please do respond by saying yes or no. I want a quick response from your side. What do you want me to do? Okay, without a third variable. Okay, by taking temporary variable. Some of them are telling, sir, by taking temporary variable. Okay, some of them are telling without taking temporary variable. Okay, which one you want me to do? Please do respond. That's up to your wish. You want me to teach in without taking a temporary variable? Yes or no? That's it. I will do that. What is there in that? Okay. See here. If I start teaching without taking a temporary variable also, you will understand. If I start taking without temporary variable or with temporary variable, 100%, it doesn't matter for you. Why? Because in Java, I'm not interested right now. Is that clear? I'm interested only in Python. Is that clear, guys? Please do respond. Directly what I'll do, I'll just come back to this whiteboard. In this whiteboard, I'll just consider this happens to be the Java program. This happens to be the Python program. Okay. Next, I'm going to divide this Java and Python into two parts. Next, what I'll do, I'll just share you the screen. Let me just go back to the browser. In this browser, Java compiler. In this Java compiler, directly I'm going to take so that you people will understand in a very better manner. Observe properly. Guys, what should happen if you ask me? Let me just write it in a what I can tell here. Yeah. Assume that there is a variable called as A. Within this variable called as A, there is some data called as 10. Next, assume that there is a variable called as B with data happens to be 20. What they're expecting from our side, the data should be exchanged. That means instead of 10, what should come and sit? 20 should come and sit. Next, instead of 20, what should come and sit? 10 should come and sit. Is that clear? That's what they're expecting. That means swapping of two numbers. Is that clear? Okay, sir, how to do using Java, sir? That means how to in Java, how to do in Python, how to do. Maybe I'll just consider a temporary variable. First, let us just consider three boxes like this. Let us just consider three boxes like this so that you people will understand in a very better manner. Okay, I want each one of you to respond properly. Assume this happens to be the variable called as A. This happens to be the variable called as B. Initially within A, 10 I will put. Initially within B, 20, I'll just store 20. Now you people should think and answer. I will consider a variable called as temp, a temporary variable, fine. Within this temporary variable, nothing I will store. That is, I'll not consider anything. Now tell me, whatever there in A, I will try to give to this particular temp. Now tell me, if I try to give whatever there in A to temp, what will come and sit in temp? I want you to respond. What will come and sit in temp? 10 will come and sit. If 10 is available in temp, don't you think the data won't be there here? Will you agree with my point? It will not be having the data. Yes or no? Okay. Next. Right now, A is empty. That's the reason what I'll do. Whatever there in B, I will try to store within this particular A. Now tell me, what will come and sit in A? I want you to respond. What will come and sit in A? 20. Now tell me, if you pass that 20, don't you think nothing will be there here? Now tell me, nothing is there in 20. If nothing is there in 20, I can pass whatever there in temp to B. Now tell me, what will come and sit here? What will come and sit? 10. Now tell me, which is the first process that I have to remember? First, number one. This is the number one process. I'll just tell this is the first step. How many of them will agree with my point? This is the first step. First step. Next, second step. Second step. Next, third step. Will you agree with my point? First step, second step, third step. Is that clear? Please do respond. Is that clear? Same thing is what I will do. Observe properly. In case of Java, I will declare a variable. Okay, sir, how to declare a variable, sir? So here I'll just declare a variable called as a, and I'll just store 10. Next, I'll just consider a variable called as b. Within this variable called as b, I will store 20. I'll store 20. Next, what I'll do, for your reference, I will print a and b. Okay, sir, how are you going to print a and b? Sir, it is pretty simple. I'll just consider system.out.println. System.out.println. Within this, I'm going to print a. Next, I will copy this. I will paste it. I will execute. For your reference, I'll execute. How many of them are able to see? Within a. Sorry, sir, I'm just printing both a. Okay, let me just print b as well. Yeah. So yeah, 10, 20. How many of them are able to see? I got the output as what? 10, 20. Now, what is they're expecting? It should swap. That means it should reverse 20, 10. Okay, sir, what you will do, sir? I will consider a variable called as temp, a temporary variable. I will declare that. Now, you people should tell me what I have to do. First step. Tell me what I have to do. Whatever that is there in A is what I have to give to temp. Will you agree with my point? Whatever there in A is what I have to give to temp. Whatever there in A, I will just give to temp. Always the assignment will happen from RHS to LHS. That means whatever there in A, please give it to temp. Next, what I have to do? Please tell me. Just close your eyes and imagine the diagram. Whatever there in B is what I have to give to what? Please tell me. Whatever there in B is what I have to give for what? A. Very good. At last, whatever there in temp is what I have to give for what? B. That's it. See here, that's all. Next, after swapping, I'll just copy this, I'll just print it. Okay. Let me just execute and see whether it got swapped or not. Now tell me, how many of them are able to understand? 10, 20, 20, 10. That means the number got swapped. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. Okay. That's what I'm going to paste it here. When it comes to Java, it is pretty simple. Let me just reduce the font size. Okay. Okay, sir. What about Python, sir? First, tell me, in case of Java, how many lines of code? I want you to see the lines of code and tell me the answer. How many lines of code, guys? If I'm not wrong, 16 lines of code. 16 lines of code. Yes or no? You just count 16 lines of code. Okay, sir. In case of Python, how many lines of code, sir? Directly, I'll just take Python itself so that you people will understand in a very better manner. I'll just do one thing. I'll just go back to a Python editor. In this Python editor, I'll just clear this. I want to declare two variables, right? In a single line, I'm going to declare. I will store 10 within A, 20 within B. Yes, automatically it will be stored, no issues. And next, I will print both A and B for your reference. Please observe. Initially within A, what is there? 10. Within B, 20. Next, I want to swap, right? It is pretty simple. Whatever there in A, please give it to B. Next, whatever there in B, please give it to A. That's it. Sir, if I do like this, will I be getting the output, sir? 100%. You just check it out. If I execute, don't you think the number got swapped? How many of them are able to understand? Guys, forget about the logic. I'll explain you the logic. Find what will happen internally and all. But are you able to see the ease of Python? That means how simple is Python? Yes or no? Please do respond. How many of them are able to understand? Okay, now tell me, when it comes to Python, how many lines of code? When it comes to Python, how many lines of code? Don't you think 4 lines of code? 4 lines of code. Same output. That means you just want to swap the number, right? That's it. Okay. Is that clear for everyone? This is what the output that we got. Here also, this is what the output that we got. Okay. Is that clear for everyone? Just do one thing, just take the screenshot of this diagram. Could you please tell me the diagram number? I think it's diagram number 4. I'll just tell this happens to be the diagram number 4. Okay. I want each one of you to take the screenshot of diagram number 4. Please take the screenshot. Okay. Have you taken the screenshot? If you have taken the screenshot, let me just do one thing. Let me just share you the notes. That is day 1. Okay. I'll just copy this. I would like to paste it. Day 4 is what I will tell. Now tell me, how many of them are able to think and how many of them are able to feel Python is very easy to learn when compared to other programming language? Guys, I'm not degrading any other programming language. Trust me, I'm not doing that. Why? Because I am aware of complete C, I'm aware of complete Java, I'm aware of complete Python. But as a student, if you just ask me, sir, which is the programming language where I can learn very easily and where I can understand very easily? Python. Is that clear? Please do respond. I want a very quick answer from your side. Guys, don't worry. I will teach you the basics of Python to the extreme level. But provided you have to support for that. That means you have to attend the classes, you have to write the notes, you have to take the screenshot, and maybe you have to type the program and practice. That's what you have to do from your side. That's it. Is that clear? Shall I proceed further? I want a very quick response from your side. Okay, great. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to show the diagram. I'll just do one thing. I'll be sending you a screenshot in Telegram. Will that be fine? I'll be sending you all the screenshot in Telegram. Let me just save. Okay. So that it should be easy for you. Guys, meanwhile, you have to take the screenshot. Okay, I'm just saving that. Okay, great. Let me just come back to the notes. Okay. A basic question is what I'll be asking for each and everyone. Please try to tell the answer. Assume that you don't know anything about Python or whatever it may be, fine. At least you people are aware of computer. Yes or no? How many of them are aware of computer? Just tell me yes or no, that's it. Okay. Now tell me, if you people are aware of computer, in computer, whenever you want to get the output, what we have to use in order to get the output? That means, what is that? What I can tell, maybe the machinery that will be used if you want to get the output. CPU. Okay. Inside CPU, what will be there? Don't you think processor? Technically, I can just call it as what? Microprocessor. How many of them will agree with my point? Microprocessor. Now tell me that microprocessor is what kind of device? It's a semiconductor technology device. If you are from EC background, easily you can understand. It's a semiconductor technology device. If it is a semiconductor technology device, then don't you think it will understand only one language? Sir, what is that language, sir? It will understand. It will understand only zeros and ones. As it will not understand English, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil. It will understand only one language, that is zeros and ones. Technically, some of them will be called it as what? Binary language. Is that clear? Please do respond. Microprocessor will understand only one language, that is zeros and ones. Technically, it is called as what? Binary language. No, microprocessor was invented in the year 1940s. As a developer in 1940s, they used to write the code in which language, sir? In which language, if you ask me? Whichever the language the microprocessor used to understand. Please do respond. Which is the language where the microprocessor used to understand? What is that language? Zeros and ones. Technically, the zeros and ones is only called as what? Machine level language. Zeros and ones. That's the reason they used to write the code in machine level language. If they want to perform addition, they used to write 1010, something like that. Fine. Next, if they want to perform subtraction 0010, simply I'm just writing the random number. If they want to perform multiplication 1100, if they want to perform division 0011, something like that, fine. That means they used to write the code in zeros and ones, and they used to provide that particular code as a developer directly to this microprocessor, and they'll be able to get the output. Sir, why, sir? Why? Because don't you think they used to provide the machine level language? If you provide the machine level language to the microprocessor will understand that language, and ultimately you will be able to see the output on the console. Yes or no? You will be able to see the output on the console. As days progressed, please tell me, as a human being, don't you think it is very hectic or it is very frustrating to remember the numbers? Yes or no? Now you only tell me, many of them in this class would have saved your number as my number in your contacts. Initially, if you buy a new SIM, don't you think you will save your number as my number, and you'll save your father number, mother number? Why? Because you cannot remember. Correct, right? Guys, from years together, if you see that number, easily you can remember. But initially, it is very difficult. Yes or no? You just tell me that. Correct, right? That's the reason at that point of time, developers got frustrated. That's the reason in 1950s, instead of writing the code in machine level language, they have changed the style of writing. Okay, sir, what is the style that they used to write, sir? If they want to perform addition, they used to write the mnemonics. For addition, it is simple. They used to write the mnemonics called as add. Okay, sir, what for subtraction, sir? Sub. For multiplication, mul. For division, div. Something like that. They used to write what? Mnemonics. Technically, this mnemonics is only called as what? Assembly level language. Technically, this mnemonics is only called as what? Assembly level language. ALL means what? Assembly level language. Now tell me, this microprocessor will understand only machine level language. Apart from that, if you provide any language, it will throw error. Now tell me, if you provide this assembly level language as an input to this microprocessor, will you be getting the output? Yes or no? I want the response from your side. Will you be getting the output? 200% no. It will scold you very badly, saying, hey boss, I cannot understand assembly level language. Please provide me machine level language. That's the reason what the developers thought. Instead of directly providing the assembly level language to the microprocessor, rather they have invented one software. That software name happens to be assembler. Okay, sir. What is the duty of this assembler, sir? The duty of this assembler is to take assembly level language as the input. The duty of this assembler is to take assembly level language as the input and convert that assembly level language input as what? Machine level language, and provide that machine level language to what? Microprocessor, so that easily we can execute the program and we can get the output. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. Is that clear? Yes or no? Okay. In the interview, if they're asking, what do you mean by assembler? Your answer should be very simple. Assembler is a system software which takes assembly level language as the input and produces machine level language as the output. Is that clear? Okay. Next, what happened, sir? First, initially, they invented something called as what? Machine level language. Next, they invented something called as what? Assembly level language. Even assembly level language was difficult for them. Why? Because, please tell me, whenever you want to save my number, what you will do? You will save it as what? Sandesh. Again, you will meet one more Sandesh in next year. Again, you will store Sandesh. Again, you will meet one more Sandesh in another year. You'll just save it as Sandesh. Assume that some other day after 5 years, you want to call me. Don't you think it is very hectic for you? Why? Because you have 3 Sandesh in your contact list. You cannot differentiate which Sandesh is this particular number. That is the reason. Don't you think you have to give, or you have to save my number with my picture or some symbols? Yes or no? That's the reason. Instead of remembering this assembly level language or writing the code in assembly level language, in 1960s, programming language got invented. Which was the first programming language? Please do respond. Which was the first programming language? Which was the first famous programming language? C programming language was the famous programming language. And don't you think they used to write the code in which style? If you ask me, I can just tell high level language style. Okay, sir, how does this high level language will be there, sir? Symbols. If you want to perform addition plus, if you want to perform subtraction minus, division, maybe multiplication star, division, like this. Now again, same question I will ask. If you provide high level language as the input to microprocessor, will you be getting the output? Yes or no? 100% no, right? That is the reason they have invented another software. The software name happens to be compiler. Okay, sir, what is the use of this compiler, sir? Compiler will take high level language code as the input, and it will produce machine level language code as the output. Compiler will take high level language code as the input, and it will produce machine level language code as the output. Now, if someone is asking, what do you mean by compiler? It is a system software which takes high level language as the input and produces machine level language as the output. Guys, from this, what you have to understand is pretty simple. Initially, developers used to write the code in machine level language, later assembly level language. Right now, from 1960s till 2021, they were writing the code in which style? High level language style. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. Please tell me what is MLL. I want you to tell the complete form. What is MLL? Machine level language. Machine level language. Next, what do you mean by ALL? What do you mean by ALL? It's pretty simple. Assembly level language. Assembly level language. What is HLL? High level language. High level language. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. Is that clear? Okay. If you want me to give some table for that, 100% I'm going to give table. Observe. I'll just consider this happens to be the machine level language. This happens to be the assembly level language. At the last happens to be high level language. Here I'll just consider this happens to be the machine level language. This happens to be assembly level language. The last one happens to be high level language. First, in case of machine level language, whenever you want to perform addition, I have just written 1010, but it's a random number like this. But when it comes to assembly level language, add. When it comes to high level language, you just remember plus. Similarly, if you want to perform subtraction like this, I'm just writing a random number here, sub. Next, here you have to just remember only minus. Next, multiplication. Here you have to remember mul. Here you have to just tell star. That's it. At last, division. Here you may have to tell div. Here you have to just tell slash. That's it. Is that clear for everyone? I want a very quick response from your side. Is that clear? Please do respond. Okay. Sir, what is the heading for this, sir? The heading happens to be pretty simple. Observe properly. History of machine level language, assembly level language, as well as high level language. That's what the heading. I want everyone to take the screenshot of this. I think it is diagram number 5. Diagram number 5. Please take the screenshot of D5. That is diagram number 5. Okay. Hope that you have taken the screenshot of diagram number 5. Let me just do one thing. Let me just share you the notes. That is day 1. Okay. When it comes to notes, I'm going to paste the heading. Here you may have to write the diagram. That is a D5 is what I have to write. Next, definition is what I'm going to give. Please tell me, anyone, what do you mean by assembler? I hope already you have learned what do you mean by assembler. What is assembler? Assembler is a system software which takes assembly level language as input and produces machine level language as output. Is that clear? Similarly, if someone is asking what do you mean by compiler, your answer should be very simple. It is a software which takes high level language as the input and produces machine level language as the output. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. Is that clear for everyone? Okay, great. Guys, and one more thing, the timings of today, the timings of Python weekend class would remain same. 7 to 8:30 or 8:45 or sometimes 8:20. It purely based upon the topic. Is that clear? Sometimes going ahead, I might take till 9 o'clock. It depends. It purely based upon the topic. And normally I'm telling, maybe some of them might feel like, okay, he's giving 1 month of free. No, I'm going to monitor each and every one, like whether you're attending the session or not, whether you're watching the videos or not, something like that. Is that clear? Guys, taking up this course, that is up to your wish. Fine. Maybe just attend 1 month of class regarding the price. Maybe 100%. I'm going to let you know in tomorrow's session. Don't worry about that. If you compare outside the market, maybe minimum 20% is what I'll be charging. That's it. If you just compare the outside market, you don't worry about that. Attend tomorrow's session. I'll just tell you regarding the price, all those things. But initial 1 month, it is free of cost. Is that clear? At least if you're not going to join the course, nothing you're going to lose. At least you'll be gaining the knowledge of 1 month, a solid knowledge, whatever I'll be giving. Is that clear? If you have any sort of doubt, 100% I'm going to clear after the session. Right now, I think in today's session, nothing much I have spoke. That's the reason you will not be having any sort of doubt. But going ahead, programming, I'll introduce, HackerRank problem, I'll introduce at that point of time after each and every class. For example, I'll wind up the class at 8:30. Just let us take some 10 minutes of break or 15 minutes of break. Again, we'll just come back. Let us just discuss a doubt session for 15 minutes to half an hour. Will that be fine? If you're having some doubt, you just stay back in that particular session. If not, you can just finish the session. Will that be fine? Okay, great. Now, one more thing. Please observe here. As I told, this happens to be the weekend batch. In a month, how many days I will get? In a month, how many days I will get? I want you to tell the answer. In a month, how many days I will get? No, weekend. You just speak about weekend. 8 hours. Sorry, 8 days. 8 days. 3 months. How many days I will get? 24 days. Okay, assume that it might take till 3.5 months. Assume. Maximum I'll be getting 30 days. If I just want to complete the course in 3.5 months, maximum I'll be getting 30 days. Yes or no? Okay. Please do respond. In between, if I take multiple sessions on weekend according to your time slot, why? Because anyhow in weekend you'll be having some time. Will that be fine for everyone? Now only I'm asking. Only on weekends, not on weekdays. 100%. I have announced this batch as weekend. Only on weekend I'll be taking the class. But going ahead, maybe after a month, maybe in order to, what I can tell, not to go in a hurry-burry manner. If I take some multiple sessions, will that be fine? Okay, great. Guys, don't worry about anything, the commercials, all those things. Please attend 1 month of classes. Later you just decide. Is that fine? But now I'm telling, please don't miss the live sessions. And for this particular weekend batch, 100% I'll be solving HackerRank problems. Definitely HackerRank, HackerEarth, CodeChef, everything I'll be solving in the class. Is that fine? Guys, without any doubt, you just attend the session. I'll make you to become a Python developer. That's what I can promise. But provided same effort should come from your side also. That's very important. Maybe you can just have plenty of excuses. Sir, my brother wedding is there, so that's the reason I am not attending the session. And maybe some of them might tell, sir, I have to go for a party. I have some trips and all. That's up to your wish. You have to prioritize. Is that clear? If there is a genuine reason, then I'll be giving the access for watching the video. But initial 2 days, maybe today and tomorrow, everyone can watch the recorded videos. But going ahead, I'll let you know what are the modes to attend the recorded videos. But anyhow, live batch for 1 month, it is free of cost. No need to pay a single rupee for live batch. Is that fine? Yeah, 100%. If you're not able to understand, if you're not able to get 100%, I can explain. Don't worry. From basic, I'll start. Okay.